it's early fall. We have got to warn all. There's fears, there's tears, there's everything in between. But I don't care, let the snow fall down on me. I don't care about the wind and the breeze. I don't care, let me be free. The storm is coming, it's blowing all around. Nothing seems to stay on the ground. Come on, we gotta warn them. Come on, we gotta warn them all. Come on, we gotta warn them. Come on, we gotta warn them all. The storm is coming, it's early fall. We have got to warn all. There's fears, there's tears, there's everything in between. But I don't care, let the snow fall down on me. I don't care, I love the wind and the breeze. I don't care, let me be free. The leaves have all turned brown. They are all falling down. The storm's here, more tears, more fear. But I don't care, let the wind roll through the trees. I don't care, love the wind and the breeze. I don't care, just let me be free. The storm is gone, now it's kind of sad. Can't get it out of my head. No more tears, no more fear around them. Though I miss the wind and the breeze, now sunshine keeps me happy. Now joy surrounds me. Now I'm not sappy. Done.
On a planet far, far away on the outside of town lived a mighty tiger named Shadow. Shadow had a plan to rule all. Inside town there was a powerful king named Sor. He ruled the area and was loved by the public. And his own son, Tickles, the prince. One nice cloudless day, Prince Tickles was in the royal garden behind the castle. He was walking around and studying plants. Then a cloaked person came out of the bushes and said in a deep voice,
"Little prince, may I interest you in some carrots?"
Do you really have carrots? My dad doesn't let me have carrots a lot.
Then the figure came out of the bushes more and opened a bag, and all Tickle saw were almost golden carrots, and Tickle squeaked with surprise.
Wow, can you give them to me?
Then the deep voice almost immediately said,
"No, little prince.
Then the deep voice said,
Follow me if you want the carrots."
Tickles ran off without thinking twice. Later that day, everyone was questioned, and then the CSI Cinnamon said,
King Soar, I think Tickles was kidnapped.
and King Soar said,
I know that. Tell me who kidnapped him or you're going to jail.
Then the CSI said,
Well, if you would let me finish, I was going to say there are cat paws there, so there is only one suspect.
At that moment, everyone knew that Shadow had kidnapped Prince Tickles. Back at Shadow's evil lair, Prince Tickles woke up and saw the man without his cloak and screamed.
But you were Shadow. How did you kidnap me? My father was going to hear about this.
Shadow said.
"Well, either you die or I am the king."
Meanwhile, King Soar gathered his finest warriors to go find Prince Tickles and bring him back home. Then, when Cinnamon, Gizmo, and Squeaky were headed out, King Soar said,
I'm a pretty bird. Good luck.
as they ran out of town, they decided to have a carrot break.
Let's have a carrot break.
When they got out their carrots, Gizmo sat down on a rock, and the rock started to sink into the ground. Gizmo did not even notice that the rock was sinking. Squeaky and Cinnamon looked at Gizmo, and she was gone. They walked over to where she was sitting and saw a hole. They looked down the hole and saw Gizmo sitting there, and Prince Tickles sitting in a cage.
Prince Tickles, we found you.
Squeaky and Cinnamon took out a rope, and then Gizmo chewed through the bars of the cage. Gizmo and Tickles climbed up, and they ran back home. But on the way home, Shadow raced past them. He got to town first and tried to take over the castle, but Cinnamon snuck up on him and scared him. Then Shadow ran off, never to be seen again. They all had a feast behind the castle.
The end.
My mom always told me not to bottle up my feelings in my heart. And now you're doing just what she wanted me not to do. So I'm passing this advice down to you. A person can only feel so much pain, like a cloud can only hold so much rain. Before the thunder cracks and the lightning strikes, and before you even knew your worth, your tears will fall down, 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 down to flood the earth. You can write, you can sing, you can draw everything. And you've talked, it doesn't have to be to me, but you need to set your feelings free. Because a person can only feel so much pain, like a cloud can only hold so much rain, before the thunder cracks and the lightning strikes. And before you even knew your wife, your tears will fall down, 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 down to flood the earth. You need to hurry up, 'cause you're driving me insane. It's so hard to look at you this way. You put a smile upon your face, but we can tell it isn't real. Even I can see that's not the way you feel. A person can only feel so much pain, like a cloud can only hold so much rain, before the thunder cracks and the lightning strikes. And then before you even knew your way, your tears will fall down, 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 down. Your tears will fall down, 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 down to flood the earth.
Hello? Are you okay? Oh, you're alive. We need to get you to a doctor.
Where am I?
You're awake. This is wonderful.
Who are you?
Oh, sorry for not introducing myself before. I'm Callahan. Do you remember anything?
No. How did I get in a hospital?
I'm not really sure what happened. I was walking down the road, and I saw you lying on the ground. You were covered in blood.
Oh.
Well, the doctor said you could leave in a week. I need to get going now. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Who am I?
Hello, dear. You can leave now. You'll need medication, though. Here. Take one every day.
How did you get in my house?
What do you mean? I've always been here.
What?
I've always been here. You've just never seen me. Hello again.
You again! I told you to leave me alone!
Why do you think I would leave you alone? Aren't we friends?
No? Why would I be friends with a stalker? Where am I?
You're in my dimension.
Why did you bring me here?
Because we are friends.
I said we aren't friends.
Yes, we are. Follow me. This house.
Why is there blood?
No reason.
Okay. This is a house?
Yep. This is where I live. And this is where you will live too. Now, we can be friends. Forever.
So as you walk in, you are greeted with this globe of the NASA logo. And it's awesome to see because it stands for what we've accomplished and how great it is. And you don't really know what to expect when you walk in there, but this was a big deal when Kennedy announced that we were going to the moon. It was an amazing time. So I know that for sure. First thing you see when you walk in is the rocket garden. And this is what it is. There's smaller rockets set up outside. All of these are replicas made from the blueprints. It was awesome to walk around and see each rocket standing up and see where we came from. So the picture that you see right now is a replica of the external fuel tank and solid rocket boosters for the space shuttle. And when you stand up next to this thing, like underneath it, it's so incredibly big that if you were to stand near the base of it, you would be able to touch only to like the edge of it. It's that big. It's incredible. It's the sign that's under the external fuel tank, but it isn't. It's pushed out a little bit more, and you can see the shuttle outline that is the A. There is a screen. You go into this theater, and it plays you this video, but then there's a screen that lifts up, and this is what you see is the nose of Shuttle Atlantis, and how incredibly big it is, and it's just unbelievable that it's right there in front of you, that you just stand there for a second shocked, and you're like, I don't know if I should move or not, because it's right there.
Well, here I am. Finally got to see Space Shuttle Atlantis. This is truly amazing. I could reach out and touch it, but I can't. Oh, wow.
What you see here is it's an aluminum kind of metal that's placed along the inside of the cargo bay doors. These are, and if you look a little bit back, you have the cargo bay area with the Canadian arm stretched out, and it's interesting to see how the inside is made in a way, and that all of it was opened and was out in space. This is a model down below Atlantis, showing what it would look like put together and on a stand. So this picture right here is Enterprise, is the first shuttle that they built, but this is it getting loaded onto the aircraft before the first gliding test. It was a small model, but it was so detailed. It was just, all of it was incredible. This is a replica of Apollo 5, or the Apollo, program. It had 5 boosters on the back. Each one, the inside was just huge. It could fit 2 cars in there at least. This is actually the lunar, or the rover that was on the moon that they used. And the wheels aren't solid as many people think. They're actually chained so that they could get the dust through it, and it was interesting to see it up close because it doesn't look like a car, and it doesn't look like there's anywhere to sit on it. There's a museum that you go through where it honors the astronauts that launched on Apollo missions. And as you come out, this is what you have: the capsule, a replica capsule with a glass pane, and you see how they were all seated next to each other with the buttons and switches. And it wasn't a big space. This is a actual spacesuit that they used when they went to the moon, and you can see the moon boots next to it on the right, and people wonder, well, how did they get the print on there, even though the boots don't look like they would? Because if you look at the bottom of the boots, they're completely smooth, but the moon boots actually have the grooves in them, and that's what they used to walk on the moon. What you see here, you have 4 suits. These are all prototype models of what the suits were going to be like when they were going to go to the moon. The second suit was made out of complete metal, and so to me it was really heavy. Like, it looked really heavy, and something out of like a sci-fi comic book back then. They progressively got better as it went on, until we ended up with what we use today. This is the actual capsule used on an Apollo mission. As you can see, the burn marks on the plating. And the door right there, the original design was to be opened in 15 seconds in case of an emergency, but they moved it down to 5. And it was amazing to see, because you can see directly into the capsule and you can see under it. It was pretty big, but the door's small, so you wonder how they all got in there. So when we sent the first man into space, that rocket wasn't very big, but this is the exact module that they used. It made it through re-entry. The door, it fit 1 person. This on its side, the 3 pictures that I sent of this, this is what the lunar or the capsule for the Apollo missions looked like. So you had your heat shield there. If you go to the next one, you see it on its side, and you could see paper or pictures of the astronauts in there looking up. You see the hatch right there on the top. They use that to get into the lunar module. That's what actually landed on the moon. So this is a Lego model of the Mars rover that they built, and it has, I think, 10,000 pieces. And it was a pretty big model to see. So I didn't expect to see something made out of Lego here. So right next to the globe, you have Kennedy and a quote of him. And it's a memorial for him and what he did. And it's an inspiring quote, because you know that he was our president and he made all of this happen. Because without him, we wouldn't have gone to the moon and beyond. It's a heart-wrenching thing to look at, but you know that it's good.
In this recent decade, the rates of teen suicide have risen drastically, especially in our own small community. Many have lost several family members or friends to suicide. I wrote this story entitled What? To focus on the aspects of teen suicide, but specifically male teen suicide. While suicide is well known to be disastrous, the feelings leading up to the event are typically unseen, especially in males. Females are typically more apt to share their feelings and are known and accepted by society to do so. Males, on the other hand, keep their feelings bottled inside, as males are supposed to show no emotion. This aspect of mental health is known by many to be dangerous, as it can lead to things like suicide. I wrote this story to shed light on the feelings and lone wolf attitude that many males struggle with at any given time.
What? Why? The music is too loud. You ask too many questions. The room is stuffy. I can't see straight. I hate it here. I want to leave in 1,000 more reasons. I want to go home, but I stay. And instead respond with, never mind, I'm good. In my head, the voices start up again. Is that even grammatical? God, just say what you mean. They don't want you here. You're ruining the party, they say. So I hide. I flow effortlessly through the crowd as the idiot talking to me fades into another conversation. I always seem so small, even in such a small space. Quiet is all I am, and what I hope for. A small hope inside. I hope that the voices will fade, stop, or suddenly just overtake me. But they don't. They never do. When I reach a space alone, I realize I'm not even breathing right. My body acknowledges this and takes action, pulsating my chest and pushing out a hiccup. Everything aches. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. The voices repeat. They keep repeating until everything seems to push to its maximum. So that made you upset? Uncomfortable? How would you describe that feeling, Milo? He says back to me. I feel like utter garbage, and I feel like these meetings aren't doing anything except making me feel like utter garbage. I say back to him. He looks shocked for a moment, and then that annoyingly understanding look passes over his face. He speaks. I see. So what can we do to make this feeling go away, Milo? I pause for a moment. Everything feels so wrong. I don't belong here. Heck, I don't belong anywhere for that matter. I hate it. I hate this room. I hate the way he tries to connect with me. I want to be alone. I want to scream and kick and cry and let the emotions take over. But I don't. They won't let me. So instead, I sit in the chair and squish my eyes so tightly together that my muscles cringe at the touch. All right, I think that's enough for today. He grabs tightly onto his notes and lifts himself from the seat across from me. I'll call in Shelley to take you back to your room, okay? I only nod. Later, in my room, I sit with the blanket covering the top of my head and cascading down to my ankles. I leave my feet out, letting the odd socks be warm enough for them. I trace the bottoms of the plus-sign shapes on the socks. A tear rolls down my cheek. Where did everything go wrong? I quickly wipe it away. There's no time for weakness right now. I've got to stay strong if I want to get anything around here. So I plaster on the smiles. I wait for Shelley to come back, patiently. When she comes down the hallway, I know. The click-clack of her oddly shaped hospital clogs always catches my attention. Well, where is that, Milo? Says Shelley in a babying voice. Where could he be? She repeats, checking under the bed. I don't want to play this game. I'm here. Can we not do this, Shelley? I say, annoyed. Well, of course we can, honey. I just thought making things a little silly might make you feel better. Maybe you'd join us in the common area for the meeting, dear? Wouldn't that be fun? She says, leaning towards me. I scowl back at her. Never would I want to go to that, but I simply agree. Anything sounds better than sitting in this godforsaken room. She understands without me having to say a word and lends out her hand. I refuse, but get out of the bed anyway. No more baby treatments. As we pass the doors to the other rooms, I think about simply bashing my head against them, a way out of here, and a way out of having to go to the meeting. When we arrive in the room, I pretend to nod along to the words the class says, but my mind is elsewhere. I envision the world without me, one that seems happier, more at peace. It seems likely that my days are very shortly numbered. I feel the boot close to kicking my bucket, and any other analogies to death you'd like to use. I feel them close. Milo is donezo, as Shelley might say. Where could he be? Well, where is that Milo? Would that be fun? They don't want you here to ruin the party. I remember the night like it was 2 days ago. Something so cliche that most people will always tell you they remember in graphic detail. It was that party. That night was so much more than a party. I remember the way Russell pushed me into the room like I was nothing more than a gust of air. I got up and walked out of the door to leave. This wasn't the first time Russell had done something like this. That's when he grabbed my arm and ripped me back down to the floor. I didn't want to do this again. Him, always beating me, making me feel like a lifeless sack of meat. Tyler follows me out of the door, talking to me. I don't really hear what he's saying and muffle out and I'm leaving. What? Why? He asks. The music is too loud. You ask too many questions. The room is stuffy. I can't see straight. I hate it here. I want to leave. And 1,000 more reasons. I want to go home. But I stay. And instead respond with, never mind, I'm good. In my head, the voices start up again. Is that even grammatical? God, just say what you mean. They don't want you here. You're ruining the party, they say. So, I hide. I flow effortlessly through the crowd as the idiot talking to me fades into another conversation. I always seem so small, even in such a small space. Quiet is all I am, and what I hope for. A small hope inside. I hope that the voices will fade, stop, or suddenly just overtake me. But they don't. They never do. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I waited. Waited and pretended like the work the hospital had been trying so hard to do was working. I was feeling fine. I could feel the happiness coming. I really could. But it wasn't the same vision they had in mind. The day they let me out was a mistake. It should have never happened. Just like I should have never happened. So, I took it into my own hands and bit the bullet. I swallowed myself into that darkness, and I no longer felt guilty about it. I was done. Happy again.
I thought it'd be a really pretty picture. We bought canoes, and I was sitting in the canoe because I was bored, and my dad lined them up like that in the living room, and I thought it'd be a really pretty picture. I was sitting in the tree sitting in my grandma's tree that I used to climb when I was little for 3 or 4 hours, I think. And it started getting dark, so I took a picture because I really like trees. I'm pretty sure I was on my roof with my best friend, and I wanted to take a picture because I was messing with the filters to see if I could get a really nice picture. And the filter that I used made the sky teal, and I thought it was really pretty. I think I was laying on the table that was in my backyard, and I thought to take a picture of a tree. Or I was laying on the roof, back in Vernal, where I used to live. It was just a one-story house, but my dad had it wasn't supposed to be a ladder, but he built it, and I asked him if I could get on the roof, and he made it so I can. I'm not quite sure what was on my camera at the time, but there was something on my camera, and it ended up blurring my camera, and I was sitting outside with my sister eating strawberries and waiting to pet the bunny, the rabbit that we had, and I thought to take a picture. I was laying in my bed and it was dark, and my turtle's light was very bright at the time. Well, the red at least. It's now orange. So I really like shadows or just silhouettes. I decided to take the picture because I thought it'd be cool with a red light in the background. My aunt works at a hotel, and she brought me swimming, and I was sitting in the hot tub, and I was trying to send a picture to my friend what I was doing because she asked, and so I took a picture of the hot tub. About like every few weekends, we have a fire at my grandma's, and no one was outside because everyone walked inside. I don't know why, so they left me outside alone, and I wanted to take a picture. Yeah. Blue fairy lights, and I was taking random pictures, funny pictures to show to my friend, and I forgot my camera was turned around and my flash was off. And I shook my camera and took that, and I thought I looked really cool. Okay. So that one, or I think the other one, is one of the first eyes I actually liked with eyelashes, because I don't generally draw them because I can't make them look good. So they were the first two that I actually liked, so I decided to take a picture of them. Eyeliner is a very pretty thing, and the way my eyes are, they don't take to it. So I draw basically what eyeliner that I think would be really pretty. With that one, I don't know what was going on in my head at the time. I think I was thinking of Minecraft because the actual like pupil of it, it's kind of like either a wave or like a cross, one of the two. And the outside of it for the eyeliner, I think I was thinking of a dragon and the scales. So I just lined them and I actually ended up liking it. I first just started with drawing an arrow because I normally don't draw arrows. And at first it was just gonna be like an arrow going through like a target or something. And then the way I drew the arrow, I thought it looked really cool with like just something underneath it. So it looked like it was aiming for something or like something was happening. Just to add some drama into my drawings for once. And I thought of an eye and then I was drawing on a paper. I stopped at the normal eyeliner. And I was drawing on a paper and I was just kind of moving my pencil around. And it ended up looking like lightning. So I decided to try to recreate that as just a detail for the eyeliner. And then the glass where the arrow is, I just thought of that because my friend requested that it look really cool. That one is in my sketchbook that I never draw in because I don't like sketchbooks. But that one okay, so for like pupils, I tend to stick with more cat-like or dragon-like features because I don't like the round shape. It seems boring. So I was just kind of doodling and I thought it looked cool, and then my friend suggested the piercings for the eyebrow. Like, cause I already did 2 of them and she said if you do 3 of them and like connect them at the bottom, it would look really cool. So I did. That was my first try with charcoal. I bought charcoal pencils, a pencil kit, basically, well, drawing, because I wanted the kneaded eraser. But I ended up using the charcoal pencils, which I actually didn't really like, so I didn't really use them a lot. But I saw a really pretty thing of a girl doing crosses underneath her eyes with eyeliner. So I thought I'd recreate it. And I just kind of did a lot of shading with it. Thought it looked really cool.